I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
I don't know what the hell that was, sorry. Because my brain is pretty much just sneezed out of my nose after watching this film. And this is a paid request. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, if you want to send in a request for pretty much whatever, you just send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And as the title suggests, this is for Fast 9. F9, more like F this. Yeah, when you look at this film, or a film like this, and you want to complain about it's silly, it's ridiculous, it's stupid, and people go, well, what did you expect? I expect to stop making movies in this franchise, and they're going to do a 10 and 11. I think this should have ended long ago. Yes, I can enjoy ridiculous things. I've enjoyed plenty of over-the-top movies that are meant just for popcorn entertainment. I know I'm alone in this. I liked Six Underground with Ryan Reynolds, which is funny because that dealt with a magnet, which it's like this film fucking stole from that film. And that film I thought used it better and more entertaining because it was R-rated Michael Bayism. That's Michael Bay's wheelhouse. Not directing Transformer films, not producing Ninja Turtle films, but directing Bad Boys films or The Rock or Six Underground. I enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but I had fun with it. It's silly, it's over the top, it's nonsensical, it's dumb, but it's fun. This one I didn't find fun. And yeah, I could go into the clunky dialogue and but even with that over-the-top fun mentality that I've enjoyed. Hell, I like Maximum Overdrive. That's not a smart film, but it's a fun film. At least to me. This was just too much. This was literally like, oh, come on, the movie. You watch it, oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Like, every step of the way. And you either have boring story, boring melodrama, the characters, there's nothing to them anymore. By the time you got to part 9, there's nothing to these characters anymore. The only semblance of a character I got was Tyrese, because he's having a midlife crisis about we're getting in all these situations and we come out without a scratch and what are we, invincible? That's like the only interesting character thing I could apply to, because he's kind of breaking the fourth wall by saying that, like realizing how ridiculous it is and how cartoon it is. I'm like, just make Tyrese the fucking star, because I like Vin Diesel, but maybe I like the potential of Vin Diesel, because his great films are, to me, are back in the day. I like Pitch Black. Yes, I like the first Triple X. Find Me Guilty. I wish he would have done more films like Find Me Guilty, where he stretched his acting a bit more. But he is honed in on this. His claws are in this franchise because he has no other franchise. Triple X wasn't working out. Return of Xander Cage came out in January. And probably made some money overseas. But you don't hear any word on itching to get another Triple X film made. Believe me, if it did make as much money that they were so happy with, it would have been like the Fast and Furious films. Churn them out. That did not happen. It just didn't happen. It wasn't that good of a movie. It definitely didn't make much money in the U.S. Probably made money overseas. But again, they're not really gung-ho on making another Triple X film. Vin Diesel, he's desperate for franchises. Which is ironic, because back then he said no to Triple X 2. Ice Cube did it. He didn't come back for Fast and Furious 2. Cameo in the third film. Now it's like, okay, I want to do Last Witch Hunter 2. Why? No one saw the film. No one cared about the film, The Last Witch Hunter. I want to do Bloodshot 2. Why? No one cared about Bloodshot. People have already forgotten about Bloodshot. It was a generic, forgettable movie that I wish could have been a fun time waster. I didn't think it was. It was a below average, generic action movie. Bloodshot. And this, it's way past its expiration date. It's like, hey, I like this piece of product. I like this food, this drink. But oh shit, the date's passed, so it doesn't taste as good as it once used to. If you've never been a fan of the films, this is not going to win you over. I liked some of the Fast and Furious movies. I even defended Part 8, which most people hated. I'm not going to put up my deuce to defend it, but it's like, I liked it. It has its flaws, but I liked it for what it was. No, this is even too much even for me. It's not jumping the shark, it's jumping the radioactive mongoloid shark who's shooting fire-breathing lions out of its mouth and shooting elephantitis, bald-rested baboons out of his ass. While its tongue comes out trying to electrocute you. And his fins come out trying to shove a fucking corn cob up your ass. To roast you like a rotisserie around. To eat you. Does that make any sense? Fuck no, neither does this. It's past its expiration date. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who brought a little bit of charisma and a little bit of fresh air in the Fast 5 and 6, he never wants to come back to the franchise. He stated that. He never wants to come back. He definitely never wants to work with Vin Diesel again. So there you go. Because Vin Diesel, like I said, he is so... He needs this. He does not want this to ever end. They're saying 10 and 11 just because the studio is going to give up eventually. Because the box office... And this does not have a good reception. Because I saw on IMDb has like a 5.3. I know I'll get to the review, but this is my emotional thoughts on it. This was a boring film. Yeah, at times it tries to do this very, very over the top, but I've seen cartoons that I bought more than this. And again, when you say it's stupid, it's ridiculous, I know it's dumb to complain about that. I understand that. But it's just one of those where it just goes too far. It goes way too far. It goes way past the finish line. It goes way past the point of no return. Sincerely, part 10 or 11, if they don't have flying cars where there's actually a car chase where they're flying around the city, I will be surprised. I will be shocked if they don't have that. Or it doesn't have the Transformers. Or Jurassic Park or something. I don't know. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's gone. Jason Statham, I mean, his character is so wishy-washy because he's a bad guy and he's evil, he's a little kick-ass, but now he's a good guy, but now he's a funny guy in Hobbs and Shaw. It's like they change his character every fucking movie. Son Kane is back as Han, and if you think they're going to even try to give you a decent explanation how he's alive, you're shit out of luck. Because apparently Kurt Russell talked to his character, Mr. Nobody, or whatever the hell his name was, talked with Son Kane in the past, and then they set this up, which makes no sense because if you watch Tokyo Drift, out of the blue, Jason Statham hits him. How the hell is that planned? How could that be planned? It couldn't. And how he was in the car in Tokyo Drift. I guess they don't even explain it. They know they can't. Just he somehow teleported. You did not need to bring Son Kane back. When people said, well, that's kind of fucked up about Han, they're talking about how the piss poor writing, yes, even for a dumb popcorn movie of Jason Statham killed your friend, now you're inviting him for dinner. You could fix the situation by dialogue, some attempt at writing, where Statham is remorseful and some of the crew hate him and I'll never forgive you. That's how you do it, not bring him back from the dead, which was never their intention because they pull it out of their ass and it makes no sense, and then he barely does anything except drive a little bit. John Cena, I've never liked. I've always hated the motherfucker. I always thought he sucked ass. I thought he was bad in the ring. I think he's a bad actor. He has no charisma. He has no presence. He is a princess. He bends over for China and takes it up the fucking poop chute. And he'll suck China's sweet semen, I guess, or whatever the fuck taste it is. I'm sure he would know. Ask him. John Cena sucks. You go from Dwayne The Rock Johnson to John Cena. I don't see the positive in that. Playing Dom's brother, where in all these films it's never brought up one goddamn time. Not once. Just pulling out of their ass. And I predicted it, and it happened. He's going to be a bad guy, but he becomes a good guy at the end. And that was true. Because pretty much no one can be a fucking bad guy in these movies anymore, except Charlize Theron. But no one else can be a fucking bad guy. The Rock was kind of a bad guy, but by the end, he's, okay. And then he's a total good, ally. Jason Statham's a bad guy, then he's a good guy. Cena's a bad guy, then he's a good guy. Just family. It starts in 1989. We already know this flashback. We already know this story. Vin Diesel told it to Paul Walker and the first Fast and Furious. That's all you needed. We didn't need to visually see all this. It's redundant if you know the franchise. It brought nothing to the table of interest or intrigue to see it physically. It's just we have no story to tell, so throw the shit in there to lengthen the running time to its almost 2.5 hour. Way over long. Boring. It was a, even for this kind of movie, it's a shit story. Where Vin Diesel's dad is racing and there's a big fuck up, car flipping, fire, Vin Diesel, younger, screaming, his dad's dead. Then cut to present time, Vin Diesel is with Michelle Rodriguez and the kid from Fast 8. The crew comes by because Kurt Russell had an emergency transmission. Which, by the way, what happened to Kurt Russell's character? I was waiting for him to pop up eventually. Is his character dead? Did his character just disappear? Because there's a transmission where they need to get to this crash site and they get something, but we never see Kurt Russell's character again, except in flashbacks with Son Kang. You would think, oh, there's Kurt Russell, he's in an emergency transmission. You'd think he would pop up eventually, come out of the shadows, shake hands, something. No. So is Kurt Russell's character dead? I must have missed something, right? For those who are much more knowledgeable about the film than me, what happened to Kurt Russell's character? Like, there was the car crash. Was he taken hostage? And he never got him? Wasn't one of the reasons that he went there in the first place was to find Kurt Russell with this transmission? They never found Kurt Russell. We never saw his dead body or a funeral. What happened? Are they just assuming he's dead? Because no one truly fucking dies in these movies. I wouldn't be surprised if 10-11 Gal Gadot comes back. After dying, wasn't 6 or so? I mean, the dialogue... What do you say about the dialogue? Tyrese literally has to say, "But this is Cypher, the woman who killed the mother of your child." Thank you, Mr. Exposition. We already know this, and he already knows this. Hey, this person is Cypher. That's the person who killed the mother of your child. It's clunky. It's like, really? There's no other smoother way to say it. There's no other easy way to fucking digest it like a goddamn pair of beans around a campfire ready to explode. Give me a fucking break with this. And I'm sorry, none of this is interesting because we've seen all we need to see that we can see with these characters. There's really nothing of note to do with them. So you're not going just for the story. The characters, there's Michelle Rodriguez. What did you say about her character in this movie? Nothing. Vin Diesel. Oh, he has a brother now. Okay. And they don't like each other. Then by the end, they liked each other. Exciting. They get to the trash site. Bad guys come. That's when you start like Tyrese's big... he's like the only one that has a bit of character work. As much of a stretch that may sound like. He like shoots all the bad guys. And he realizes he hasn't been hit or shot. Or he has a scratch on him. Later on, the crew are driving through a minefield. And his truck gets blown up and stuck in a crevice. Ready to land on a mine. He gets off it, runs. It blows up, lands in front of him. It looks like it lands on top of him. We think he's dead. He's not. He walks behind and the other guy goes, "How are you not dead?" He's like, "I don't know." Yeah, I know Tyrese is pretty much the comic relief in these movies. But again, it's interesting that his stuff seems like the more interesting stuff about literally telling the audience, yeah, this is crazy. What are we, invincible or something? And you see a lot of this stuff, yeah, Tyrese may be on the right fucking track. Michelle Rodriguez is on a bike. She like gets hit in the air and then she lands on a car and she's perfectly fine. There are times where later on Vin Diesel's chasing John Cena and they just jump out the window and they just happen to know that there's a fucking bus going by. They're like all the way over here. They just jump out and they just know, I guess by some psychic energy, that a fucking bus is there that don't land upon. And they must have some powerful fucking legs. Because no one's laid fucking brakes ever. And I get it. These films are silly and ridiculous. But you only do... When you go so far, there's a breaking point. It's a rubber band. Guess what? Sooner or later, the rubber band breaks. When you stretch it too far, you get splinters in your eyes. This franchise needs to die. It needs to end. It's done. It's over. It's done like dinner. People are over it. People jokingly say, yeah, Han, have Han, justice for Han. That doesn't mean Han needs to be alive. You can keep him dead, but you work it with character work, dialogue, or attempt to. Even in a Fast and Furious movie. Yes, even in that, you can try a little bit. You didn't... When people, oh, what's that? They don't go in space? They listen to that, and they fucking do go into space. As again, that's like the... Come on. When they're non-explanation how Son Kane is alive and then going to space, I'm like, I give up. If I had something in my hand, I'd fucking throw it. I'm like, I give up on this shit. If they don't give a fuck, why should I give a fuck? And you have that BS bridge scene where Tyrese is with the others and they're driving, and even though the bridge is falling down, somehow they drive up it. Maybe Superman was invisible and pulled them up. Then that's when Vin Diesel is driving and he hits a thing and somehow wraps around a tire and the fucking car swings like Tarzan across a fucking bridge. This is like the "Aw, come on" movie. The backstory, we don't need to see what we were already told in part 1. Charlize Theron, I liked her as an actress. I don't care for her politics. I don't care for what she says in real life. I liked her as an actress, though. Even her as a villain is tired sauce. It just is. I'm already tired of her and her dialogue. I read your second grade report card. That's what I do. Like trying to talk shit to John Cena. She could probably kick John Cena's ass. Michael Rooker's in the film for like 2 or 3 scenes. Waste of Michael Rooker. I like Michael Rooker as an actor ever since I first saw him in Cliffhanger. And he was in Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. He's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I'm just a waste of him. Pretty much telling Vin Diesel go to London. That's where John Cena's at. Lucas Black and the crew of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drifter in it. They're the ones who make the rocket car. I'm like, this ain't Buckaroo fucking Banzai. Fucking rocket cars. Helen Mirren drives. Because they're like, if I come back, I want to drive. I want to have a driving scene. So they put it in there. So Vin Diesel sees Helen Mirren, who's Jason Statham's mom from the previous films. And we did a random action scene that's boring as shit. Her racing along at night. Vin Diesel finds Cena. This female squad that I swear... It's like a Vin Diesel's in a truck and there's like all females around him. This is like a female hit squad. But I swear I never see those characters again. Again, I must be losing my fucking mind or I fell asleep and I didn't realize it. What happened to this female hit squad? I swear I don't remember ever seeing them ever the fuck again. Where the hell were they for the rest of the movie? Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, they go overseas to Asia to check out some stuff, find Son Kane. While in London, Vin Diesel was chasing Cena, Tyrese and others. They find this truck with a lot of this big equipment dealing with magnets. Now, this whole magnet shit, I already saw in Six Underground. I know a lot of people don't like that film. Yes, that's silly and stupid and insane, but at least I have the R-rating bite to it. At least it wasn't a part 9, so I can attempt to, whether it's successful or not, try to gauge if these characters are decent or not. At least the Michael Bayism brought a bit more pump into the action scenes compared to this, because they don't have to hold back for the PG-13 status. That's more realistic of a movie than this fucking movie. That's how bad this movie is with that shit. When Six Underground is more realistic than your fucking movie, that's where I'm like, it's a bit too fucking far. It's a bit too fucking far. I know my beard ready to go for the Gandalf. I'd rather talk about that than this. Now, any positives? Yes, once in a while there's some pretty damn decent practical bits of action. earlier on the film when the crew and bad guys are going through a minefield. You get some decent explosions, cars flipping up. With this whole magnet thing, yes, there's some decent bits, like they take this equipment, they break it apart, and they put it in each of the cars, so they have these dials, and cars will go like this, get out of people's way. It creates big, over-the-top, insane, ridiculous action set pieces that, if you're fine with that, you get some chuckles out of. But at this point, Vin Diesel, he needs to get some adrenaline to shoot up his career. Because his career, other than Fast and Furious, is dead. It's dead. Bloodshot, Last Witch Hunter. This is another movie. Why can I not think of it? What, Babylon AD. Even the last Riddick film was pretty fucking awful. Last Triple X film was awful. It's just... Vin Diesel, his shtick is getting tired. He needs to really either do something different. Like Nicolas Cage, despite his... Not all of his films are successful, but he's trying different movies, whether it be that film called Pig, Mandy, Willy's Wonderland. It makes it at least a bit interesting. He'd go from Color Out of Space to Willy's Wonderland to Mandy to a film like Pig. Idea that makes it at least a bit different, unique. Vin Diesel needs to do that. That's why Find Me Guilty, I think, is one of his better movies. He gave a solid performance. He was actually decently funny. Stretched his acting talents a little bit. Even in the action genre, do a brutal R-rated action revenge movie or something else entirely. Like a brutal Death Wish type of movie or something, man. Or take a hint of... What the hell was that movie? It was a cop movie. I remember the trailer. Take it all the way. You can take it all the way. God damn it. A Man Apart. Do something like that again. Or try. But, you know, A Man Apart didn't do anything. That's a decent film. You know. Anyway. Where the fuck was I at? Oh, the big action spiel where something to do with some weapon and it's being uploaded to a satellite and that's going to be bad things for everybody. So Tyrese and co get with Lucas Black and they get the rocket ship and they're on a plane and the rocket ship goes up into fucking outer space. So yes, Tyrese, Ludacris, they're in outer space. Outer fucking space. And they run into a fucking satellite. Like the satellites, they run into it. And then John Cena is betrayed by Charlize Theron's buddy named, was it Otto? Otto, like, I'm like, Otto? The fucking bus driver from The Simpsons? Otto? Otto Octavius? Like, Otto, I mean, it's such a weird name, Otto. Maybe he's the son of the bus driver from The Simpsons. I don't know. Oh yeah, there's this one stupid dialogue between him, this Otto guy, and Charlize Theron where they're talking about Star Wars. And, oh yeah, I'm Luke Skywalker. Oh, I'm Han Solo. No, you're Yoda. Why am I Yoda? Oh, because he's like the best Jedi. No, because you're a puppet. And you have someone's hand up your ass. Stick this up your ass, movie. Stick my finger up your ass. Fucking shit. That's like them trying to be hip, but you're hip to be fucking square. How Sun Kane is alive. Again, apparently in Tokyo Drift, he was working with Kurt Russell. And then somehow amidst all that, he met some other girl that he was protecting. And then somehow, what, he purposely got hit by Jason Statham? Or, I don't fucking know. Because like, we gotta fake your death. And then it cuts to him getting hit by Jason Statham's character. What, did he purposely get hit? How? I guess? Even though if you... You know what? Someone should watch Tokyo Drift and watch this movie back to back, and just their mind will fucking explode with the horse shit. If I try to think more about it, it'll go insane. And Sun Kang wasn't even that great of a character. I'm sorry, Han. There was nothing to his fucking character. Not much. He likes to eat. That's it. He likes to eat and he's Asian. That's all there was to his fucking character. I'm sorry. Sun Kang is not like a fantastic actor. Go watch Bull in the Head with Sylvester Stallone, where he's Mr. Phone Cop. You know, Google Cop. The fucking Google Cop. Most of the movies him on a fucking phone. And again, like, John Cena gets betrayed by Otto, and then, lo and behold, he becomes a good guy. He helps Vin Diesel out with this big fucking vehicle that they made flip and go upside down, and everything's crashing. They drive away. Tyrese and they get to a fucking space station. I would not be surprised if out of the blue a Death Star just appeared. I would not be surprised. If the fucking Enterprise and Captain fucking Kirk just appeared, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. And then, I guess, that's how they get back to Earth. Did they deal with the... I guess, was it Miri? I don't remember. I don't care to remember. And then they're having, you know, dinner. Wait, there's one more. And Paul Walker's car... You know, his car comes into the driveway and it cuts. Oh, and then after the credits, Jason Statham is doing something. The door he needs to answer, he opens it and there's Sun Kang. So I guess maybe Statham will be in part 10 and that's going to be into it. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I swear, didn't Jason Statham murder people in Fast and Furious 7? I thought he murdered people. But I guess all those people he fucked up in the hospital, he didn't murder. Even though they look like they got murdered. God, that's another movie, man. This is the worst Fast and Furious film I've seen. I would rather watch Tokyo Drift than this. Just Tokyo Drift was shorter and was a bit more consistent in its pacing. And at least with Lucas Black, I'm not a fan of Tokyo Drift still, but at least it tried to have a bit of fresh air compared to this. This is easily the worst of the Fast and Furious movies. Easily the worst. Well, there's part 4. I almost forgot about part 4. I would say, no, part 4 is still the worst. Part 4 is still the worst. I can't stand part 4. See, that's how much part 4 I hate. I completely forgot about. Fast and Furious 4 is still the worst. Because this, at least there's a couple bits of action that is decent to the eye. And at least with the cast, you know, I like Tyrese. Kurt Russell and Michael Rooker, they have nothing to do. Kurt Russell disappears. I don't even know if he's dead or alive. It's nice to see him even though they have nothing to do. Lucas Black, nice to see him again. I think he was in, what, the previous film? I don't mind Lucas Black as an actor. I remember him as a kid actor. He was at the beginning of the X-Files movie in 1998. He's the kid that got the black oil. He was in the TV show American Gothic back in the day. I think he was in Sling Blade. I believe that was Lucas Black. So it was nice to see him in there. Yeah, I would rather watch this than Fast and Furious 4. Fast and Furious 4 I can't stand, but this is the second worst. I would just say this is the second worst. I mean, to go into how the plot makes sense, you could do that with almost every Fast and Furious film. But at least maybe they had a bit of the charisma or charm or eye candy action set pieces. and they went far, but you're like, okay, you're at the edge, This is, it knocked it down, went over the edge, went off the cliff, went up the cliff, went into space where there's somehow cliffs, and then went over those cliffs, and went over the space cliffs. It's too much. It was too much. It was too far. It was too off the fucking reservation. John Cena, I don't think he has charisma. I don't think he has star power. I don't think he has what it takes to be an action star. Not in the Marine. 12 rounds could have been fun if it wasn't for John Cena. Because Rennie Harlan is directing it. I don't mind the idea. You needed a better villain and a better hero. If you plugged in just, whatever. Even if you plugged in Keanu Reeves and made that a speed film, and the villain, whether he's related to Dennis Hopper, you don't even need to do that. Just someone else. That could have been a Speed 3, 12 rounds. It's a different kind of speed. You gotta get to here before the time runs out. You're going through your 12 rounds. Or you don't even do it. Just call it 12 rounds. I don't know. Like, if you had Keanu Reeves and James Woods. There you go. Keanu Reeves and James Woods or something. I don't know. I'm just... Fuck John Cena. John Cena sucks. He's always sucked. He always will suck. Goddamn G.I. Joe action figure has more presence and come in. That's what John Cena's acting is. As wooden as a fucking door. As wooden as a fucking table. As wooden as fucking Captain Mannequin. Captain Marvel. I'm tired of John Cena. I'm tired of seeing him in movies. Of all the people to cast, you couldn't cast like Keanu Reeves. Not that it would save the film, but it would make it better. You couldn't cast Thomas Jane. You couldn't cast Dredd himself, Carl Urban. You couldn't cast anybody else but John Cena. Granted, John Cena and Vin Diesel, they're brothers, yeah. I'd buy that for $1. How I would buy Vin Diesel and Martin Lawrence Moore's brothers. Again, stuff I must have missed. Like Caruso and that one female squad that Vin Diesel's chatting with for a few minutes. And like, shit I must have like either forgotten or I missed or bypassed me or it's the movie's fault. I don't know. Some wanty CGI work and some decent parts. I mean, plenty dialogue trying to reference Star Wars. And like I said, I read your second grade report card. That's what I do, and that's how I know who you are. Read the back of a fucking condom box then, movie. F9, more like F this. Fuck this franchise. You know what? I still like some of the past movies, but stop it. Stop making more of these fucking films, but they don't continue it. People are tired of it. It's old hat. It's done. You get an F on F scale. Fuck. Knock the shit off. Vin Diesel, I'm sorry that you can't get any other fucking movies for you. That's not my fault. That's your fault picking shitty projects. Or you pick projects and you have shitty fucking executions. Either fire your agent or get them in and say, no, we need to work on this script. Or even just as a superficial level. I like dumb fun movies as well. I really do. This shit is too much. It's not fun anymore. And it's just... Fuck. I don't even know what to say. I'm running on fumes. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Fuck this movie. Stick it in their ass.